Hello, and President. Welcome to LNTV News Live. I'm Edward Tama, anchoring this edition of the news program. And the top stories we're following: the Central Bank of Liberia Board of Governors agrees to support policies towards the agricultural sector. Major regional conference gets underway in Monrovia with a call for concerted efforts in the fight against maritime crimes. The Supreme Court of Liberia finally closes for its October term of court. And away from Liberia, at least 15 people shot dead and dozens others wounded by gunmen in a village in the Nigerian state of Sokoto. More developments are ahead. After this break, we'll be right back. Please stay with us if you can. Welcome back to the program. The Board of Governors of the Central Bank of Liberia, CBL, has released a new set of monetary policy decision to ensure stability in the Liberian economy. The decision followed the first meeting of 2021 by the CBL Monetary Policy Committee, where key recommendations on global and domestic economic developments in the last quarter of 2020 were highlighted. CBL Executive Governor Aloysius Talu released those decisions.
The board's decision of the board of governors. At the end of the meeting, the MPC was concerned about the rising level of currency outside the banks, inflation expectations, low interest rate transmission, uncertainty surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic, and high level of non-performing loans. Despite the projection of real GDP growth of 3.2% in 2021. The committee also considered the inflation projection of 12.3 plus minus 2 percentage points for the first quarter of 2021 and the current exchange rate developments. Following its deliberations, the committee decided to maintain the current tight policy stance in order to further dampen inflation expectation and sustain the downward inflationary trajectory. Considering these developments, the committee decided to, 1, maintain a monetary policy rate at 25% for the next quarter. 2, implement strategies involving increased public sensitization and strengthened coordination with the government for further use of digital and electronic payments to mitigate the liquidity pressure in the banking system. 3, strengthen policies to enhance loan recovery to address the structural liquidity problem, while encouraging commercial banks to restructure COVID-19 induced delinquent facilities to support financial stability. 4, intensify the sale of CBL instruments by initiating sensitization to Liberians in the diaspora for participation in the domestic financial markets and pave the way for issuance of long-term government debt instruments, including advisory to the government to support domestic resource mobilization for long-term investment projects. And lastly, 5, consider policies to support lending to agricultural sector with the goal of containing prices of food in the medium term and supporting the balance of payments position of Liberia through international foreign reserve accretion. Thank you very much for your attention.
Well, at the same time, Governor Talu highlighted some domestic macroeconomic developments in Liberia.
In terms of domestic macroeconomic developments, real gross domestic product, our GDP growth, contracted by an estimated 3% in 2020 from a contraction of 2.5% in 2019 on account of subdued economic performance, especially in services subsector of the economy. The MPC noted that growth in the manufacturing subsector remained flat, while growth in agriculture and fisheries, forestry, mining and penning, especially gold, subsectors were not sufficient to outweigh the negative 12.7% recorded in the services sector in the third quarter of last year. Projections show that growth is expected to rebound in 2021 due to expectation of positive developments in all major sectors of the economy. The committee, however, recognized that risks to the domestic economic outlook will largely hinge on containment of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, global prices of Liberia's primary exports, and the prices of key imports such as rice and petroleum products. Those are key things that we are looking for this year. Moderation in headline inflation to 12.45% in the fourth quarter of last year from 15.29% in the third quarter last year was largely due to appreciation of Liberian oil, CBN tight monetary policy stance, and favorable international oil prices. Also, the end of period December 2020 inflation moderated to 13.2% from 14.03% recorded at the end of September 2020, while projecting headline inflation at 12.3% for the first quarter this year. So we see here, inflation should come down to this year, this month, this quarter at 12.3%.
The Supreme Court of Liberia is set to end legal business for its October term this Wednesday at the Temple of Justice. Earlier, the court closed for its October term but later reopened a special session in order to adjudicate election dispute cases arising from the December 8, 2020 special senatorial election. Chief Justice Francis Kwokpo said the Supreme Court will hand down opinions in other cases before closing. According to our judicial reporter, the High Court is hurriedly ending legal business in order to reopen next Monday for the March term of court. Now, the constant wave of mysterious deaths on the 72nd Boulevard Road in Painesville is instilling fear in residents living in different communities along the busy road. Early Monday, a woman's body was discovered along the road, as you will hear in this report by Amanda Yasha Sally.
Saturday, she and I talked. So she's supposed to come. Normally every Sunday she'll come to my place in Matali to spend the whole day, sleep and go back. But Saturday she made me the honor saying that she was going to help her friend to prepare some program food and other stuff. So the whole of Saturday she was there. Later on in the afternoon around 4, 5, she said she was rushing red light to buy her food for Sunday.
The unknown woman, who looks to be in her early 40s, body was discovered early Monday morning near a dump site on the 72nd Boulevard Road in Painesville. The woman was seen with her head bent between her legs and hands tied to them, covered with fresh banana leaves. White skies that looks like hot water or caustic burn was also seen on the woman's neck, both shoulders, and on her hands.
So we talked. She said she was sending her phone on charge. So her battery was like 6%. I said, okay, but then when you take the phone from one charge, you call me back. After a while, I think like 2-3 minutes back, she called me, said, oh, the area that was on charge is close. So I may likely run out of current. I said, really? I said, okay. But then anything, if you recharge the phone, please make sure you call me. So she didn't call me again. Around 8, that was 8:15 when she and I last call.
You mean Saturday night?
Saturday evening, yes, Saturday night. Okay. 8:15. So according to her son now, when she dropped the line with me, another person called her. So she told the son, I'm coming. But if you don't see me carry the food, I think they have some program that they were catering to. I'm going to carry the food out into my friend's place. They like in there so they can prepare it. That's how she left according to him. I never heard from her again until yesterday. And normally I know every Sunday she's going to come to my place. So the whole of yesterday in the morning I didn't hear from her. Around 2 o'clock I started calling her. I could get her on phone. Call over and over, no way. Even in the evening time I sent her text message and all. I couldn't hear nothing. So I slept because she made me the honor say they were to go for a memorial service. One of their sisters that passed off. So yesterday was supposed to be the memorial service in her bell. So all I thought was maybe she gone there and said she said her phone was going to be off, probably there where she was.
Dead bodies are usually discovered on the 72nd Boulevard Road, with no information as to who the perpetrators could be or are. I'm Amanda Yassi reporting.
What a very sad news here, but police say that woman Florence Masakwe has been taken to the funeral home, a local funeral home in Caldwell, upon agreement between the Liberia National Police and family members. Police spokesperson Moses Carter said forensic examination will be conducted on the body while the pursuit of the perpetrators will continue.
She was identified as one Florence Masakwe, 46 years old, and was seen lying in the 72nd Boulevard community. Our officers or investigators were alerted by community residents. We moved in with our forensic team as well as our homicide team, and there was a huge, crowd of people. We managed to make contact with the family of the Liberian female. An agreement was made. Madam Masakwe, peace be to her ashes, was pronounced dead by nurses at our police clinic at our police academy in the same 72nd community. Having being pronounced dead, Madam Masakwe's remains was taken through a unanimous agreement between the police and the family. Her remains was taken to the Maureen Gifford Funeral Home in Caldwell, where forensic examination is being conducted.
While in a related development, Moses Carter said the boy allegedly stabbed by his parents is still alive while his parents have been taken to court.
Of a child that was allegedly stabbed by his parents. In this case, the child is still alive, as opposed to the last incident where the child was allegedly stabbed to death and the parents of said child have been charged and forwarded to court. So in this case, our investigators of the report that was on the People's TV, let me be specific, there was some report carried on the People's TV of a child that was said to have been stabbed by his parents. The report went viral, was shared on individual pages, and our investigators took it very serious and launched a robust investigation establishing the authenticity of the report. That report is up, and from all indication, we'd like to inform you, members of the press and the public, that it was established that the child has medical issues.
Where a consignment of medical supplies has been donated to the Nima County Health Team and neighboring Guinea. Speaking to reporters Monday, Monserrato County Senator Sir Joseph said the donation is to enhance the fight against any outbreak in Liberia and neighboring Guinea.
The Minister of Health and I was here yesterday, and we brought in a 44 container of medical supplies and equipment. The county health officials for Nima County was present. So what belongs to the Nima County health system, we took 20 food and gave it to them. We also took 20 food and gave it to Guinea, so that they can have some health coordination activities. Whatever problem in Guinea, they're going to come to Liberia. Whatever problem in Liberia, they will come to Guinea. So the best thing to do is to share the little we have, share ideas, share information on the fight against the virus. Any virus, there's a need for countries that have hundreds of borders with the two countries. There's a need to make sure you share resources.
One may actually say your country is in dire need, and especially your country you represent, than Guinea. Why don't you think it's necessary to do more for your country than Guinea?
Well, very good question, and I'm happy that I was asked this question. Many people asking, Guinea is a rich country. Why Liberia is helping him to Guinea? Don't look at the issue of Liberia being that we are a poor country. First of all, what we did was to share resources. We are fighting a common enemy, which is the coronavirus, and we fought the common enemy before, which is the Ebola virus.
If you're just coming our way, you're watching LNTV News Live, coming to you from Painesville, outside of the nation's capital, Monrovia. My name is Edward Tama, anchoring this edition of the news program, and the top stories we're following. Board of Governors of the Central Bank of Liberia agrees to support the policies towards the agricultural sector. Major regional conference gets underway in Monrovia with a calls for concerted efforts to fight maritime crimes. The Supreme Court of Liberia finally closes for its October term of court. Away from Liberia, in Sokoto, Nigeria, 15 persons shot dead and dozens others wounded. We got more information ahead, but this break to be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Press Union of Liberia has awarded several of its members and institutions for their excellent performances during the year 2020. At the award ceremony Friday at the Painesville City Hall, the Liberia Broadcasting Systems ELBC was awarded or was recognized Radio Station of the Year, while LNTV was recognized as the Best Television of the Year. Front Page Africa newspaper was named the Best Newspaper. For individual awards, Zokwe Beslo Kone of Liberia Broadcasting System was awarded the Best Newscaster, while our Executive Mansion reporter Vavle Kamara walked away with the Executive Mansion Reporter of the Year. Winston Bladden of Banner FM was named the Best Legislative Reporter, and Truth FM's Peter Tobe was recognized as the Best Judicial Reporter. Power TV FM's Anthony Stevens was awarded Journalist of the Year 2020. Congratulations to all the award winners, including our own LNTV and ELBC. Well, meanwhile, President of Liberia, P.L. Charles Coffey, is calling on governments of the world to take urgent steps to tackle economic crisis facing the media. Mr. Coffey spoke over the weekend at the Painesville City Hall during the President of Liberia Awards night.
Governments around the world need to take all steps to protect sustained use of information. The use of facts, digital policy, public advertising campaigns, job retention subsidies, and other measures are all factors in tackling the economic crisis facing the media. As a union representing journalists and media professionals across the country, we commit to advocating, lobbying, campaigning, and acting together around these principles for radio journalism as a good and public good. The media belongs to the team and in-house ombudsman, whose role is in fact to keep its content honest and accountable to the public. The ombudsman is intended to mediate complex, stemming from internal and external pressures to maintain accountability to the public for use of information reported and to foster self-criticism and to encourage adherence to both codified and uncodified ethics and standards. The media is also an important accountability mechanism. It raises important issues, corruption, for example, that might otherwise be not publicly related or addressed. The media also has an important role in stimulating government to take action on social policy, although some human festivals might reinforce prejudice in some quarters. It also have the power to expose problems and lead to the address, for example, poor living conditions and the lack of access to services.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Presidential Affairs, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, I beg your pardon, Nathaniel McGill, is urging or is challenging the Liberian media to hold all the three branches of government accountable for their responsibilities.
Well, I want you, the media, to make sure, we have three branches of government. I want to make this before I take the seat. The media have to hold each of the branches of government to account for its responsibility. And I want to repeat, the media have to hold each of the branches of government to account for its responsibility. Meaning, each branch of government has a definite and defined role to play. There'll be a mistake wherein one branch of government will attempt to play the role of the other branch or the other branches of government. While democracy will be strong, we have to respect our definite and defined roles. It is my hope that we, as executive, will respect the role of the legislature and will respect the role of the judiciary. It is also my hope that the legislature will not attempt to play the role of the judiciary, the role of the executive.
And away from Liberia now, at least 15 people have been shot dead and dozens others wounded by gunmen in a village in northwestern Nigerian state of Sokoto. The gunmen opened fire on Monday morning when residents tried to stop them from leaving with a local businessman they have adopted. Residents told the BBC that the victims have been buried and those wounded were receiving treatment at a local hospital. Well, that's all we have for you this evening. But before we let go, a very reminder of the top stories we'll follow. The Board of Governors of the Central Bank of Liberia, CBL, agrees to support the policies toward the agricultural sector. Major regional conference gets underway in Monrovia with a call for concerted international efforts in the fight against maritime crimes. The Supreme Court of Liberia will finally close for its October term of court. And away from Liberia, in Sokoto, Nigeria, 15 persons shot dead and many others wounded by gunmen in that part of that West African country. Many thanks to you for watching LNTV News Live. Many thanks to all of our contributors, our reporters, editors, and correspondents for making this edition a success. On behalf of the entire production team here at the Liberia National Television, my name is Edward Tamba. Thanks for watching. Do have yourself a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.